Hi, I'm Naomi. I'm one of the therapists here. So my background is in drama therapy, which is a way of working where we look at childhood experiences, relationships, patterns of behaviour, and use more creative methods to understand ourselves and maybe the roles that we've had to play in life. I also work with families as a systemic practitioner, which means that I'm really curious about how the family we're in maybe, or the work situation, the systems we're part of, how they affect us. I work a lot with new parents and just generally with transitions and those new roles that we have to take on and how that affects our whole identity and sense of self and brings stuff up maybe from the past. And I also work with specific traumas as well, so difficult situations that maybe keep coming back to affect us in our day-to-day lives, and finding ways to store those memories in a better way. So I always had a sense that a job meant something that helps people directly. Not sure where I got that from. Therapy has always been something I've aspired to. I was suggested art therapy as a careers advisor when I was at school, and I soon after discovered drama therapy. I've always had a passion for the arts and how they can be really helpful with making sense of things, making sense of yourself, and of kind of finding a new way of doing things. I'm also really passionate about relationships and how we maintain them, how they challenge us. And I think the therapy relationship is really important, because I'm someone who'll come alongside you and maybe challenge you in ways you haven't been challenged before, but also be kind of a cheerleader and an advocate for you. So yeah, I love therapy. I feel like it's helped me make sense of myself. It's helped me get through some really hard times and give me the space to be fully myself. And that's hard to do sometimes, isn't it, in real life? I focus on relationships, so my relationship with you, hoping that you can trust me and we can build a safe space for you to explore and share. I'm a creative therapist, so I use different techniques to help us think differently and to try new things in a safe way, gently pushing you out of your comfort zone, but ultimately the work is collaborative, so we're working together to figure out what is needed. I am person-centred, so I focus on you, I focus on your needs and your preferences. I use humour quite a lot. I think life can be really intense, can't it, and serious, and it's important to take things seriously, but also to bring some lightness, and hopefully it can be relatable and real, and just don't want to use a cliche word authentic, but I guess I am myself as a therapist. So sessions with me are hopefully really helpful. That's the feedback I've had in the past. I help people to make sense of maybe why they act the way they do, maybe based on past experiences, on parenting, on current stresses. And then we put in practical tools to help manage those reactions or those tendencies. We might work on specific traumas and using a technique called EMDR, which helps to process those traumas so they're not sort of hijacking you at any point. We might also I use stories quite a lot, so I quite like thinking about what story we're telling about a situation. Are we saying, oh, this is definitely what's going on? Is there any room to explore maybe different stories? Maybe it's the other person's thinking this, or maybe the situation is like that. And then it can help us to kind of free us up to think differently. I ask lots of questions and hopefully get you to think in a different way. And we'll use creative methods. We might use art, we might draw, we might doodle, just to explore and make sense of things. So I'm affirming of all sorts of identities, all sorts of experiences. I have my own identities that I'm really conscious of, and that I make sure to maybe name differences or similarities and explore if there's a need to sort of discuss that further. I've had my own journey and I'm pretty open if you want to know more, but I'm also aware that therapy isn't about me, it's about you and what you need, so I'm open for you to ask questions. And I really want to help you and help my clients to feel more positive and hopeful about the future. I focus quite a lot on strengths and on what is going well, because I think we can really lose sight of that when things are tough. So I don't fake positivity, and I don't just jump to, that toxic positivity, but I do think it's important to recognise, actually, I'm really good at this, and this thing is really solid in my life. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to hopefully meeting with you and working with you.